Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Otafest podcast. I'm your host, Nancy, and I'm here with Angelo and Jay.
I'm Nancy.
I'm Jay. I'm still Jay.
I like Angelo's version of my voice better.
Everybody should be voiced by me.
Except Morgan Freeman.
Oh my.
Yeah, he's allowed to stay.
Definitely. As Calgary's largest nonprofit fandom convention, Otafest provides fans of all ages with geeky interests a friendly place where they can feel like they belong. While we may not be able to provide a physical place for fans to get together and celebrate those common interests this year, we are thrilled to offer an online alternative, Otafest 2021, a live-streamed event.
With interactive programming from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., Otafest 2021 will be a safe, fun, and exciting convention experience unlike we've ever hosted before. More information will be announced over the next few months, so keep an eye out for a sneak peek into this year's features and programming. Lovers, I hope you can join us this year as we embark on a brand new adventure.
Adventure!
Adventure time!
Adventure is out there.
Yeah.
Outside where it's cold.
Yeah, not for long. By the time that this episode goes live, it's supposed to be mildly less warm. Or mildly less cold.
Mildly less cold. Back to standard winter temperatures rather than extreme cold.
I want normal cold. I want normal cold back.
Yeah, normal cold is way more preferable to this minus 30 extremity.
Maybe.
God, yesterday it was negative 18 out, and I was like, oh, this feels fantastic. Oh, it's 10 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. This is wonderful. And at that point, I realized the brain ice worms have, like, destroyed me.
Yes.
They made me be like, yeah, negative 18, that's not too bad.
At least you didn't put on shorts. You know
I
they've
didn't.
gotten you if you go and put on shorts at minus 18.
That is the truth.
What day is today? It's Sunday.
Well, I mean, for everybody hearing this, it's Wednesday.
Oh my
It's
god.
true.
It
It's
might
Wednesday.
be Sunday. It might be next Sunday by the time they're hearing this.
Wild. I don't control when you listen to it. That is true.
We need technology.
Happy
We need to be able to
Valentine's
control
Day
when
anyways.
people listen to this.
Happy belated Valentine's. What are you guys getting up to?
Nothing. I'm working. Because I'm alone.
I'm
and
going
sad.
to order in sushi for Dio.
Sushi. That is the way to a girl's heart right there.
Yee.
Unless she's
Mhm.
allergic to fish.
Well, yes.
She is allergic to shellfish.
I
just
am
not other
mildly
fish.
allergic to certain shellfish.
More importantly for me, tomorrow is, I don't know, Family Day or something. And that means
Yeah.
more money.
Hell yeah.
The
Give
way to
me
Jay's
more
heart is money.
No, that's not true. But I do appreciate the goods and services that I may purchase.
Sometimes working over the holidays feels great. My second week, or rather, second last week of December check, it actually had me working Christmas and New Year's on that check.
Mm-hmm.
So from that 1 week, I made as much as I normally do in a month,
Oh, wow. So you got like a double paycheck.
basically.
Nice.
It felt very good.
So did you spend that extra moolah on anything?
I not yet. But I'm still tired. It's been over a month since then. It's been a month and a half since the end of December, and I'm still tired from all that overtime I took on.
Damn. That's
Or
rough,
maybe
man.
you're just older now and you're going to be more and more perpetually tired.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Adulthood. Adulthood. The best.
Speaking of being an
feels
adult
boomer,
who
man.
spends money irresponsibly, or in some cases, responsibly. No, somewhat irresponsibly, but masked by responsibility. We've been thinking about buying a really nice office chair. And not because I just want a really nice
Ooh.
office chair. It's because Sean's back very, very much needs it.
You don't have to go on all out crazy with like the Herman Miller. You don't have to spend $2,000 on an office chair. You can get ones that are like 90% as good for like the $300 to $400 price range.
Actually, didn't Dio get like a fancy gaming chair not that long ago? I wanted to ask about that.
She got the Herman Miller
Uh-huh.
Logitech office chair. I can't remember which one.
That was the one I was thinking about getting.
Yes. So she specifically got the Logitech version of it because it was $100 cheaper than just the regular black.
Mm.
It is an amazing office chair, and because she works from home, she can use it as a tax write-off.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We both permanently work from home, so Sean needs somewhere to sit for more than just 8 hours of the day.
In that case, a really, really good office chair might be really helpful. But there was one really good video put out by a technology channel I like recently. It was the Gamers Nexus office chair roundup video.
Oh, yeah.
Where they got like 8 or 9 different common office chairs off of Amazon, including like the Herman Miller Aeron for like $2,000.
Oh, wow.
They included a couple like $200 to $300 units in there. And then they also included gamer chairs just because everybody hates them.
Just because everyone hates on them so much.
And it was a very interesting video, I think, because yeah, a lot of people, a lot of like streamers and like gamers I see is like, yeah, well, I want to get the gamer chairs, and I'm like, dude, save your back. Don't do it, bro. No, don't get the gamer chair, bro. Get yourself an office chair, bro. Dude, get yourself a chair that was made for people to be sitting in it for 8 to 12 hours a day, bro. Your back will thank you.
Yeah, that's the general sentiment against gaming chairs that I see. And it's really funny because every time I go to Costco, I'll take like a waltz down their office aisle full of like, you know, flats of paper and highlighters. And then right next to them is like an executive chair. And then right next to that is a gaming chair. And you sit in one and you're like, I don't think I like the gaming chair very much.
It's
No,
almost like office chairs, and the people that inhabit them have been around much longer than gamers.
The thing about gaming chairs, right? They're trying to, well, they're selling themselves on style. They are, and they're trying to evoke the style of like a proper like car racing chair.
Yes.
And for those types of seats, for like racing seats in cars, they are made to form fit your body, and they are made to stop you from moving, so that when you're going around a corner at 200 miles an hour, you don't fucking fly out the side of your seat. It's made to fucking like suck you in, not for ergonomics.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're trying to make a seat that people are just going to lounge out in for like 8 hours a day, that's not good. People need to be able to move, to stretch, to like do things, to live.
To be supported.
And gamer chairs, they're coming from a direction where that was impossible. Like the early, super early gaming chairs from like 6 or 7 years ago, everything that they have done about them is wrong from an ergonomic standpoint. The ones from like the last couple years are a little bit better about it, but they're still just bad.
Yep. And that's kind of just the whole thing against gaming chairs in general. And kind of, we've mentioned this on previous podcasts, but like there are certain companies that really try to sell you on that gamer aesthetic, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're better at what they are supposed to be
like
for.
Corsair is 100,000% about the gamer aesthetic.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, I kind of dig it in almost every product except the chairs.
I mean, all of my RGB fans are Corsair, and they have my
I
LED
am
controller
militantly
with them.
against gaming chairs. But RGB, on the other hand, I am all for.
Speaking of the whole computer, because like this came back from, you know, Nancy and her hubsy looking for a gamer chair, but why would you need, or not gamer chair, but good
office chair.
A good chair for
why
officing.
would you possibly need one of those other than Sean needing one? Well, maybe it's because you have a laptop. I heard somebody got their gaming laptop back.
Yeah, so after 6 weeks in the
It's
shop,
me. I
it's
got
back.
it. No, wait.
It was me, Nancy.
Yeah, so after 6 weeks in the shop, it's finally back. I think I went slightly off the deep end for that 6 weeks that I did not have my laptop.
Aw.
And because I wiped it before putting it in the shop, and then I wiped it again when I got it home from the shop, I had to reinstall everything on it. And it took me a solid day and a bit before I realized that I hadn't installed Steam yet.
Wow.
That's how much other
Wow.
stuff that I needed to do on my lap. Like, not like a day and a half of like solid me just sitting on my laptop,
What
but like
are
a day and a
you?
half of actual time
What?
elapsed.
Are you even? Are you some sort of responsible person?
Yeah.
How dare.
I also spent a bunch of time
Why do I
finalizing my
even know?
keyboard, which was, God, that was a great success.
Oh, this was you were replacing the springs, right?
Right. So I have a keyboard that is perfectly fine. It is like probably a mid-tier, entry-level-ish, like enthusiast keyboard. It's for people who actually do want to change things out every now and again because it's got hot swap
Nice.
sockets in it, and you should be able to just pull switches out and put new ones in whenever you want, which is cool. If you feel like just having a totally different feel, you can just pop your keycaps off, take those switches out carefully, put new switches in also very carefully, and you'll just have like a whole different feel when you type. The whole like extra level comes in when you actually mod your switches. So I talked last time about putting in different springs because the springs that were in the switches that I had were really, really heavy. And you can see when you take them out that they're really dense springs. They don't have that much travel room. When you try and compress them, just like between your thumb and your forefinger, it's pretty stiff. And I think I also mentioned that it's like 100 grams of force to bottom them out. It's 65-ish to
Yes.
actually get the key to actuate, but it's like 100 if you push it all the way down, which is pretty stiff by general standards. A lot of people like to sit in the 55, 60 range when it comes to like typing force.
Yeah, like even 70 is a heavy key switch for a lot of people.
Mhm.
For 100 grams of force to bottom out, that is beefy.
And like that's the way these were designed, and I loved typing on them. But with a hand injury that is exacerbated by having to press things really hard, it actually made sense for me to mod them. So what I did was I ordered some 55-gram springs. They're very pretty. They're also very shiny.
Very pretty and shiny. Are they RGB springs?
Oh my god. Could you imagine RGB
Did Corsair
springs?
sell you springs?
Like, that's totally non-functional, I get it, but like RGB springs, that'd be so weird. They're new, so they're shiny. And there's a whole process to taking a switch apart. If you don't want to go and buy like a switch opener, I ended up 3D printing a couple of switch openers. And I say a couple
Oh my God.
because the first time we did it, we didn't have the settings for a 0.2 millimeter nozzle properly figured out yet. So the first time it printed, the whole thing was fine, but the actual prongs themselves were so like bumpy and gloopy that it was really difficult to actually get it to work. They're supposed to just slide
Ooh.
under the clips and then the whole thing pops out and then everything's fine. But that's not what happened. So I actually ended up spending a lot of time trying to 3D print something. And as you know, 3D printing takes a long time. So for that time, the first I want to say 15 to 20 switches, I opened by hand. And I absolutely wrecked some of my fingertips because I was trying
Oh,
to do it with
no.
like a small
Screwdriver?
screwdriver and just trying to like gently pry things open. And oh my God, my fingers hurt so much by the end of that weekend.
Why was that decision made?
Because I was really impatient and I just really wanted to get started on doing the mods.
Jay, have you ever tried to do something that you really wanted to
No.
do, but you didn't have the tools for it?
Yeah,
No,
this was...
I'm not that kind of person.
It's like if you're trying to open something up and you don't have a screwdriver, you reach for a knife.
a
No.
blunt
If
knife.
if you don't have a knife, you reach for a hammer. Like, it's just you're like, okay, but
None of
I don't
those
have
are
a
the proper
toothpick.
tools, and
Can I
none of
make
them
this
relate to
folded
each other.
Post-it note work? Like that's the kind of thing that you'd end up
This
doing.
is where Angela and I
because-
totally get each other. Like, that was that was not something I wanted to wait
It's
for.
a great way to do something wrong.
I mean, you
Yes.
can do it wrong, but you can also get by perfectly fine with improvised tools if you're careful. So at the expense of like some of my fingertips, I got the first 15 switches done. The rest of them were done after I got a proper switch opener going. But the actual mods themselves were what made the biggest difference. So after you open the Switch up, what I did was I did put a new spring in. That wasn't really the end of my mods. I actually ordered some films as well. The bottoms and top housings of Switches can end up having a bit of like a top hat drum effect where you've got, two hollow rounded plastic things and they're bumping into each other whenever you do a key press. And the film basically fills in that gap, so there's a lot less wobble in there. So I filmed them, I looped them, I got some Crytox 205, and put it all back together. And just having an unmodded Switch and a modded Switch next to each other, even with just the springs taken out and replaced, the lubed and filmed were drastic improvements. It's so much smoother, it sounds amazing, and your fingers kind of just feel like they're typing on little clouds.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
And so I've determined that if anyone ever wants me to mod a keyboard for them, I will do it for them. For a bit of money, but I will do it for them. Because I really enjoy this.
What's a bit of money?
I don't know.
I'll give you about $3.50.
$3.50. $3.50 without the decimal in it, right?
Only decimals.
Part of me wants to replace my current keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really like my 60% keyboard.
Yeah?
But I've seen stuff.
You've seen
Since
some things.
I built this, I've seen things that I want more.
Okay, so tell me what you're looking for and why it's attractive to you.
So, compared to this one, so this one's a 60% keyboard.
Okay.
I've seen some that are not quite 65%. They're a different 60% layout that have
like
the
62,
arrow keys in them.
yeah.
And I want one of those. I want one with hot swappable keys.
Mmm.
I want something where it kind of shows off the PCB. I want something where it's per key RGB. None of this just underglow bullshit that's like 10 LEDs. Like, actually, even the underglow is pretty fucking awesome. But my PCB, it just doesn't deliver enough current to the key cap lighting. So all 60 freaking LEDs that I put in, they're not bright enough. They're too dim to actually be worth a damn.
Right, you mentioned that.
Yes.
In a previous episode.
So like I've got a lot of things that I want in a keyboard, and while this is just, I really love this keyboard, I really do, and I love having the special firmware on it. But I feel like I could make this one specifically like the Stream Deck keyboard, and then I could have like the other one be my gaming keyboard, and I think that would be amazing.
And I would absolutely be there to help you put it all together.
Yeah.
Because that would be so much fun. Like, I honestly, taking apart my keyboard multiple times, cleaning it all out. I also did a couple of board mods. So I told you that the stabs on mine were really rattly. Some of that was because the internals of the stabs weren't lubed, so I fixed that. That was pretty easy. The other one, too, that's really popular is that you put, like, a fabric Band-Aid on the PCB to stop it from bottoming out into the board, because that basically is a piece of plastic that slams into the board constantly. So that, a little bit of lube, and now my stabilizers sound amazing. There's still a little bit of rattle in them because they're plate mounted, so they're just clipped on. They're not like actually screwed into a PCB or anything for stability. So that's where that bit of extra motion comes from. But you can try and fix that if you take a little bit of washi tape and or like even like painter's tape, something that's thin and sticky, you can jam it right in and just stop the stabilizers from rattling. So anyway, keyboard mods were very successful, and I would absolutely do it for money.
That is good. Not gonna lie, based on what we had written in to talk about today, I did not think we were gonna spend 10 minutes on keyboards.
Keyboards is serious business.
You misunderstand the passion that is behind some of these things.
But I was like, based on what Nancy wanted to talk about, because it's a collaborative effort, you understand. I thought she'd be way more excited about the laptop coming back, but no, apparently not.
I needed to focus on something while the laptop was gone, okay?
Uh-huh.
And it was a very time-consuming project, which I very much appreciate the fruits of my labor.
Uh-huh.
So have you stress tested what was wrong with your laptop to see if it's properly fixed now?
Yes, and everything does appear to be doing well. Battery has come back
Nice.
unbroken, thank God. I've heard of some places where they give you back your laptop and the battery has lost a whole bunch of capacity because they put it through tests that they weren't supposed to.
Ooh.
But everything does appear okay. I will let you know as I continue stressing the hell out of it by playing multiple games at the same time, which I did do yesterday.
Fair enough. Nice. Multiple games at once.
Yes, I had Genshin running in the background while I was playing Guild Wars, like short missions for story.
Oh my
It was
god.
hilarious and great. The thing about Guild Wars 2 that you need to know is that it's very CPU bound. So I was basically testing the GPU times CPU being like completely saturated by something.
All right. That's fair.
It was fun.
That's fair.
It was fun.
You know what else CPU was really getting hammered?
Do tell.
That would have been CD Projekt Red uncompressing all their backups, I imagine.
Oh no.
Yeah. CD Projekt Red, they got the big hackaroony.
They got epically pwned, which, by the way, was not a term I thought I would hear again since, like, 2006.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, so what was the full story other than the fact that they got hacked?
They got epically pwned.
Yes. So, CD Projekt Red has been having a little bit of a bad time lately. After the abysmal launch of Cyberpunk, they didn't really need this embarrassment. But on Twitter the other day, they posted basically a press release stating how they had been effectively infiltrated. Said that their stuff was all encrypted? Like,
we
was
have
it kind of like a crypto lock
copies
kind of thing?
of the source codes from your Perforce server for Cyberpunk, Witcher, Gwent, and the unreleased version of Witcher.
Wow.
Basically, all of their code got
All of
stolen.
your documents relating to accounting, administration, legal, HR, investor relations, and more. I don't know how much of it is true, really, but I don't.
Whoa.
And they're like, we haven't encrypted all your. It's basically ransomware stuff. But again, I misquoted. It's hello CD Projekt. Your have been epically pwned. Remember, accuracy in journalism.
CD Projekt Red, they actually posted a text file that the supposed hacker left.
That's what I'm
on
reading,
there,
yes.
And it's like something that a 12-year-old script kiddie would come up with.
A 12-year-old script kiddie, again, from 2006.
Yes.
Because people don't say this anymore. People have generally gravitated away from yelling like, "Oh, that's epic" or whatever as epic. Thankfully, because I've always sort of hated that one. And then pwned. I mean, I have engaged in pwning once or twice.
You have engaged in pure pwnage?
Pwning had its time and place, and that time and place is a solid 10 plus years behind us.
Yeah, the to pwn as a verb has not been in the common vernacular
in quite
for the better
while.
part of a decade. I don't know. Maybe it's making a comeback now.
Maybe. Doubtful. But maybe. So how's CD Projekt Red dealing with it?
They said, screw off.
They've already, to my understanding, they've already just recovered from backup.
Yep.
And the supposed hacker group has already sold off source code, apparently.
There was like an update where it was like, yeah, they think that a lot of the source code has been auctioned off on the dark web.
The dark web.
Millions of dollars.
Would someone really pay millions of dollars for the dumpster fire?
Guys, the games
that
are
is
already...
the
I don't know what to tell you.
Cyberpunk
I
source
get
code.
it's the source files. I understand it's the source files. But the games are already out. You could just play the games. You don't have to recompile the source code, guys.
What if Bethesda bought it so that they could learn how to make a game with less bugs?
Oof. Sick burn.
True, though. I also think that, like, I don't really understand the purpose other than, like, you get to see their code because if you get games from CD Projekt Red through GOG, which is their distribution platform, they're also DRM free.
Yeah,
so
I was just going to say
I'm
that.
not encouraging piracy here, but what I'm telling you is they sort of are vulnerable to piracy because they don't care to,
Lock it behind
DRM
DRM.
any of their stuff.
And
As far as I
that's
can tell,
fine.
the big thing here would be trying to scour the source code for kinds of maybe vulnerabilities that would allow someone to create a mod or something that's far more malicious than it lets on. But
Potentially, but
I think that, and then I'm immediately, quite frankly, if you're making someone download a mod, you are basically already injecting code and whatever the hell else into the game. You've basically got the control you want at that point, and the person asked for it. So that wouldn't really be the right motive. But if there's any other network functionality to the games that can be exploited, that would be the big vectors for attack.
I don't know. I think there's a lot less value in that source code than they think there is. I feel mostly bad for like employees and like ex-employees where they're going to have their data for quite a while, if they have employee data at all. But then that's like a whole other bucket of illegality that you don't want to deal with, which is like essentially it's one thing for you to go after like corporation assets, but once you kind of delve into like potential identity theft shit, you're going to get hounded down. So I'd be super careful about that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that saying that they're not super careful, but these are also people who are epically pwning the general gaming community. So, I don't know, man. I don't think they're...
You can't rise up against gamers.
Oh.
Gamers rise up against you.
Yeah, I don't know. Ask GameStop stock how much gamers...
Game stonks.
Stonks.
Yeah, Game Stonks. I think it's back down to like $30. Oh no, I'm not. I'm really wrong. It's still at 50. It's around 50 right now, which is honestly based on the stuff we talked about last time. It's like this is where I expected it to sort of just chill.
If it stays at 50 for an appreciable length of time, a lot of the hedge funds, yeah.
GameStop.
Game stonks won.
Yeah, it's good for them, I guess. But yeah. I don't know. CD Projekt Red. At this point, like, I sort of wonder if there's a chance they might get bought out or fold.
You think so? You think it's that bad?
It's just a lot of hits to take all at the same time, and sometimes you can't recover from a perspective of like being a strong corporation with strong relationships to whoever their publishers may be, whoever other private investors may be. Like a lot of people, like this is the kind of stuff that I don't know if CD Projekt Red is publicly traded, but if it is, your shareholders, and even if it's not, your shareholders are bound to be like, this is just too much. I could just invest in some other gaming company or some other thing in the general type of business, and then not have to worry about all the bad that's coming with this right now, even though they want to support them or whatever, like if they're public traded, I would assume that their stock prices would take a huge hit.
I feel like CD Projekt Red can weather this. I really do. Quite frankly, they have enough non-game assets that they're very much like Valve. They would not have to make games to be profitable as a company. They could just throw everything they have into GOG.
Yeah.
Like, GOG is not as big as Steam. But it is, as far as online game storefronts go, GOG is probably the closest thing you could argue to being a legitimate competitor.
So, they are publicly traded on some market. Don't know, I'm not familiar with the name of this one, but they have lost about $100 per share.
Oof.
Yeah.
What are they at right now?
A month. 263, down from 365.
Yikes.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Which is the peak at the end of January, which is a month, and then, but in December 2020, right around a certain, no, actually that wasn't the release date. The release date was
November, wasn't it?
November sometime.
Mm-hmm.
They did peak at 443, so like they're down from their highest peak over the last year by $200.
Mm.
If
I mean,
I
that's
were
not
a
enough to like
gambling
sink
man,
them. I mean, that's pretty good. I don't know what the hell is PLN.
if I were a gambling man, I would get in during the low and then sell whenever the next Witcher game comes out. But No, I am not the kind of person to spend money on the stock market at all.
I'm not either.
Especially
I'm not
the
gambling
European
sort.
or Polish stock market, whatever it is.
It's about $80 Canadian right now.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Still though,
But yeah.
I don't think this will fold them. I have quite a bit of faith in the fact that they'll probably be able to diversify their way out of it.
Maybe, but it really depends on how whatever their next project is, which is at this point many years out, because Witcher's not getting another thing for a while, is the expectation. They're gonna be working on Cyberpunk and focusing on that for a while, so they don't have another sort of major product release that is publicly known to sort of help boost the optics for a while. So they're going to have to work with what they have.
Fair
and
enough.
That can be really tough.
We'll see what happens. But it sounds like
I've got
they've
faith in them.
recovered from this bit anyway. This whole being hacked business.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I still want to support them. I'm waiting for patches for my Cyberpunk. I think it's coming pretty soon. There's another major patch.
Yeah.
I just want to finish my side quests. Finish my side quests.
Side quests. It's all about the side quests.
Angela, what would you spend money on?
Ooh, what would I spend money on?
Responsibly,
There
but
are
also
so
irresponsibly.
many things. Oh, okay. Well, ooh. There's so many things that I could spend money on. I could spend money on a new car if I wanted to, but I don't want to.
How old is your car, actually?
2007. My car is having problems. I'm going to be selling it in the spring.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
Yeah.
Are you going to get something much newer?
Actually, I'm thinking I'm not going to get anything at all.
Ooh, you're gonna
Nothing
go the
at all?
car-free life.
It's like you're driving nothing at all.
The reality
Like
is that
nothing at all.
Dio's
Like
Dio's
nothing at
Hyundai.
all.
She's got a 2013 Hyundai Elantra, and it barely gets used because she's work
Right.
from home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And considering we've got that and the Camaro,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
I
need
could
a third
easily
car.
just take our Hyundai or the Camaro if I'm feeling spicy that day,
Spicy Angela.
and there'd still be a car left at home. It doesn't make sense for having 3 cars between 2 adults, right?
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with
And
that.
then my mom's also got a car, so it would be 4 cars between 3
I was
adults.
going to
It was
say,
like-
you guys actually have a lot of
we
vehicles.
have more cars than we need.
And you get to pay insurance and everything.
And all that
for
fun
it.
stuff.
Exactly. So while part of me would
Privilege.
really want to get like a Jeep or something,
Jeep.
the
Jeep.
reality is that buying any car at this point is the fiscally irresponsible move.
Mm-hmm.
I'd agree with that.
Just sell my car, cut my ties with it, learn how to drive standard, and we
Standard's
Gucci.
great. You'll love it.
Yee.
I'm excited.
And I'm going to learn in the summer when it's easy to learn.
Just remember not to put really soft rubber tires on.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we have, I think, all seasons on the Camaro. And I don't know what's on the Elantra right now.
You should be fine.
What else would you spend money on?
What else would I spend money on? I don't know. There's like holiday stuff I could spend money on, but who would do that?
There's a holiday?
There's holidays?
That's a holiday.
Like, is Valentine's Day a holiday? I don't think it really counts as one.
It's a Hallmark holiday.
Yeah. You could spend money on discount Valentine's candy.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
I could get behind discount candy. What else would
I'm
you
all
buy?
about discount candy.
What is your favorite Valentine's candy?
I don't know that I really have one.
Just give me Ferrero Rocher every day.
Yeah, Ferrero Rochers are
Ferrero
kind of a
Rocher.
standard, but they're not like a
Oh.
Valentine's specific thing.
No, they are not.
So I've got a bag of candy hearts on my desk.
Uh-huh.
And
I
like
would not
the
eat
cinnamon hearts specifically.
Cinnamon.
I
And
don't hate
they've
them,
been-
but they're not great.
I love them.
I like them too.
Just cinnamon, just cinnamon flavor. Like I like cinnamon, but it shouldn't be like the only predominant. My God, are we getting back to?
Mm-mm.
It's time
Nope.
to rant about cinnamon
No.
Actually,
and all cinnamon-related product.
This
what
is
I'm
the
thinking-
thing that we talk about every Valentine's Day.
I've got
Not
some Appleton rum in the fridge,
Nice.
and I'm thinking, you know what? I could just dump a bunch of cinnamon hearts into the rum.
You could. And then you
What
basically
would
get
stop
something
me?
that tastes like
Fireball.
Goldschlager.
Could have just bought Fireball.
I haven't had Fireball in a while, but it's way more expensive now than it deserves to be.
That's how I feel about McDonald's.
Back when I was in college, Fireball was like $18 for a bottle of it for a 2.6, and that was pretty good. And then I move out here, and it's like $25 for a bottle, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I think the last time I was at the store, it was still around that price, $25-26 a bottle. And I'm like, okay,
I always forget.
I appreciate
but
it.
Angelo, can you remind me what a 2.6 is again?
26 ounce.
It's the number
750 mil.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for translating that into metric.
Standard wine bottle size, technically.
Is that? Oh yeah, that is wine bottle size. Yeah, you're right.
Yep. Another really crappy candy is also heart-shaped, and I don't understand the appeal of them. Conversation hearts. Doesn't make sense
Yeah,
to
the
me.
candy hearts, the chalky hearts. Didn't we talk about these last week?
Yeah, they taste
A
like
little
chalk
bit,
and nothing else.
But like, it's specifically because it is Valentine's Day. I want to revisit it. I think they're just the worst. Like,
They're
not
really
good
cute,
candy. They're even
and they're a
worse than
great
rockets.
idea. But yeah, the candy is actually awful.
They're
Mhm.
actually worse than the other standard candy somehow because they're like chalkier and drier somehow.
Is
It's
there like
because
an
they're bigger.
artisanal conversation hearts? Like someone who's done the conversation bit really well, but the candy also tastes really good? Like, has anyone done this? Because if not, this sounds like a perfect business
Congratulations,
opportunity.
Nancy is opening up her Etsy
Woo!
for artisanal conversation hearts and keycap.
Oh my god, conversational heart
mods.
keycaps.
No,
They exist.
Oh!
I don't want to. I'm
They
sorry
exist.
I said anything. I want to leave.
You can have heart-shaped candy keycaps for every letter of the alphabet.
You know?
Every letter?
Yes, even the
Every.
Cyrillic ones if you really want to.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know?
The question is, are there any other like good Valentine's candy that's not just chocolate and not chalky pieces of crap?
Isn't
and
there
not cinnamon
like
hearts?
What about Hershey's
isn't there a
Kisses?
Valentine's version of Peeps?
Peeps?
I've never had a peep,
Peeps.
and I don't know.
Marshmallow Peeps.
Are those the little marshmallow chicks?
Yeah.
Yeah. They have
Yeah,
like
there's a Valentine's
marshmallow
version of that.
hearts, but they don't taste as good
Yeah.
as regular marshmallows.
Here's the thing. This just popped into my mind. So many major holidays in North America have a candy associated with them.
Yeah,
Easter
like
has
Easter,
chocolate.
Yeah.
You could
Well,
say
chocolate and
Valentine's is
arguably
chocolate as
Peeps.
well, but I'm willing to say it's not always chocolate because of the other things we talked about, like the thematic whatever. You have Thanksgiving doesn't really have one.
Well, Thanksgiving has the turkey. It's the food, if you
It's
will.
it's the food as a whole.
Mhm.
Obviously Christmas and wintertime has candy canes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween has candy corn.
After Eights and Terry's chocolates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I would argue that for how shallow Valentine's Day potentially is,
For some people, yeah.
I mean, there's lots of arguments for it being pretty shallow.
Yeah,
as a holiday.
I know.
It's only as
But
shallow
I
as you
think
make it.
It's got to have some of the worst candy too, unless you really don't like candy canes. But candy
I
canes
mean,
are fun.
it's North American Valentine's Day. It's really just buy someone a big old novelty shaped box of the regular chocolate that we sell the rest of the year.
Right? And then like, sure, flowers and cards or whatever, date night. Yeah, but there's no
You
like
can't eat flowers
specifically-
and cards.
Yeah. But like it's not like all of the stuff is sort of non-standard. So is chocolate the standard for Valentine's Day, or is it the other special stuff?
A
which
box
is-
of chocolates is the stuff. That's the
It's
thing.
so
I guess so.
generic. You can buy a box
Oh,
of
yeah.
chocolates for any occasion.
anytime. Yeah, anytime, anywhere. Which
Yeah,
is
but they're not always
I
heart-shaped
think I've said this
boxes.
before. It's my default gift.
Box of
Is
chocolates?
chocolate.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
it's my default gift by a probably like 10,000%.
10,000.
Anytime I don't know what to get somebody, and I just don't have like enough information, and like I try to be a good gifter because I'm one of those people who
You get them
if
a
I
box of
see-
chocolates
if I
because you don't
see
have the
something
information.
for, like that makes me think of you.
They open it up,
I would give.
and then they realize, but Jay, I'm deathly allergic to chocolates. Why would
And
you
I'm
give
like,
me
I
this,
didn't like you
this
that much
death
anyway.
sentence in a box?
Wow. That
I didn't really
escalated.
like you. That's, it's the thought that counts, remember?
It's the thought that counts. And
For Nancy, we'll get her a nice big box of chocolate, but inside, it's actually just a new custom set of keycaps.
Oh, man. That sounds like a rough time. Like,
made of chocolate.
oh, wait, you can't even use those. Those aren't even thocky.
Hell yeah.
What about a novelty keyboard that's made out of graham crackers that uses marshmallow keycaps glued to the graham cracker with chocolate?
What if the marshmallows are the springs under the keycaps?
Oh.
I was gonna say, like, I think you've done it wrong. Where the graham cracker should clearly be the keycap, and
well, the graham cracker would have to be the fake plate
absolutely
mount
should be
or
the
PCB.
Anyway, that's gone off the rails.
You know what else is off the rails?
What?
No.
You know what else you could have for Valentine's Day?
What?
No.
Government sanctioned Wobbly Pop.
Tell me about Wobbly Pop.
Tell me about the special soda.
Yeah, tell me about
So I was on albertacannabis.org the other day. The only website where you can legally order cannabis in Alberta, to my understanding. And I was just browsing through and I was like, whoa, those are beverage cans. What are those? And so I look and it is literally THC infused pops, like bottles of pop.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, wait, this is amazing.
Question.
And so I look through. Question.
Do you still taste the weedy taste?
So
It's
I will get to that.
100% weedy. It's weed water. So
Yeah,
it's
weed
actually
water.
old bong water.
Ew.
So
Ugh.
and then they've put it into a soda stream.
So I got two that I've tried so far.
Uh-huh.
One was a mango pineapple flavor.
Okay.
And if you didn't tell me when I was drinking this, I would have thought, oh, this is like a fancy Italian soda. Like, it's not so sickeningly sweet, but the flavor's there. It's just a good fucking pop.
Mm.
And then, of course, like an hour and a half later, I was over the moon. Hell yeah.
Oh, so you literally couldn't tell.
If someone just gave that to me and told me it was a regular drink, I would not have been able to tell.
Oh, that's dangerous.
It was very dangerous.
Oh, dear.
Like, you only have one.
That's kind of interesting because, when they go through product development, they must have thought about that. They were like, do you want a good drink or a drink that informs you that you're about to get high and you won't want to drink any more of them?
So
I'm sure that has to be part of the development.
I had
for that product.
2 nights ago, and so that one set the bar for me, and it set the bar high. Like, no puns intended.
I was gonna say.
It set the bar high. You could just give that to me as regular soda, and I would be all over it. Like, it was that good. But then the other one that I got...
not a good thing when you're dealing with an edible, essentially.
Yeah.
So the other thing I got
Mm-hmm.
was called Deep Space Flavor. And I mean, when someone gives you something called Deep Space Flavor, you don't know what you're expecting.
Yeah.
Well, space is
And,
supposed to smell like burnt steak. So did it smell or taste like burnt steak?
Why burnt
No.
steak?
It tasted like discount Red Bull.
Ew.
Like
Nice.
discount Red Bull,
Ew.
except with a weedy flavor.
Oh.
Maybe that's for the better, to be honest.
Like, quite frankly, I have mixed feelings about it. It was absolutely not pleasant to drink like
Well-
the first one was.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. The other thing about it was that it's actually higher calorie. It's 100 calories, whereas the other one was 60.
What? They needed more sugar to hide how awful it was. It's probably even
Yeah.
less tasty with less sugar in it.
So with the really good tasting one, I finished off the can in like 5 minutes the other night.
Holy crap.
And so it all hit me at once. Whereas with
Okay.
this one, because it took like more like 20, 30 minutes to get through this small can, it's like a 200 milliliter can, it actually ramped up much slower. And it was like a slower burn.
So more of a
if you get
sipping
the
drink is what
feeling.
you're telling me.
But yeah, they were also expensive.
Hmm.
Like the Deep Space, the shitty Red Bull one was like $8 for the can. The really
Holy
good tasting one was
crap.
$9 a can.
that's big.
That's like
oof
twice the
pricing.
cost of a Red Bull.
Yes, it absolutely is. Although, quite frankly, that is very expensive for any kind of marijuana flavored or marijuana thing. that's expensive, but it's not too absurd. Because like if you compare this to like drinking beer or wine or something like that, one bottle of wine might take care of you for the night, and a $9 bottle of wine would be an exceptionally cheap wine. For a 6-pack of beer for $9, you are getting like the worst beer imaginable, basically. So all things considered, it's very expensive. But when it takes care of you for a night, it's not unreasonably expensive.
How do they compare when it comes to other edibles like gummies, though?
I haven't had any of the gummies.
Oh, okay.
I have had
gummies.
chocolates,
Oh,
Chocolates,
and those ones were pretty good.
Chocolates got me almost in trouble once.
almost.
The chocolates that you get from the cannabis stores,
Yeah,
they're
good.
they're good.
They're
And
good.
last year was the only time I had them.
Yeah.
But they were on for half price, so like there was $4.20 a chocolate,
Of course.
and those had as much
Oh.
THC as these ones do. And yeah, those ones are great. They were just exactly the same.
So
It
wait,
was
wait,
fine.
hold on. It was just like some chocolates that had the exact content in an entire drink?
So
Yes.
the problem with the chocolates, I think, are that I don't know about anybody else. I know some people like to like just pick a bit of chocolate, or whatever, but like, so the chocolate is like fairly simple, like in its packaging and its like actual shaping of the chocolate. It's just like you can break off a square.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know some people break off squares of chocolate, but when I have a chocolate bar before me, I would like the bar. I purchased the bar, if you would.
Okay.
I wish I didn't get like totally screwed, by the way. I'm just saying that I wish the THC content was like for the whole bar as opposed to like per square, because you're only really supposed to have like 2 squares maybe.
Yeah, so the serving size is kind of what I'm getting at. It's like me personally, I don't drink fizzy drinks very fast. I feel like even if it was a small can, like a 200 ml can, it would still take me like half an hour-ish to sip all of that. So that one kind of makes sense. I was kind of shocked when you said you had the whole thing in like 5 minutes when you mentioned the mango
Yeah, for the
pineapple
good one.
one.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
So-
I think people are more often faster drinkers of the fizzy than you are.
Yeah, so I'm kind of an outlier there, but like when you talk about something like you're supposed to have 2 chocolates, well, yeah, you can eat 2 chocolates very quickly, like very, very quickly.
In my experience, the chocolates, at least for the 10 milligram ones,
Uh-huh.
they were about the size of like
Like a truffle?
what was it?
No,
Like
no.
do you know like caramel squares?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like 4 of those put together.
Holy
like 4
crap.
squares of a caramel square. And for the whole
Yeah.
thing, for all 4 of them, it was 10 milligrams total. So you could break it into 4 squares and get 2.5 milligrams per square, which is pretty good for some people. But for me, I would need the whole 10.
I get
And,
that. I'm just saying, like,
the
think
only thing I
chocolate
wish-
is, like chocolate is dangerous, and some kid
I wish it
who
was
is,
the
like,
size of a full chocolate
some
bar.
kid who's like, 110 pounds soaking wet is like, ooh, chocolate, and I'm allowed to have cannabis because maybe they're, whatever. And it's just very easy to consume that whole thing and then get annihilated.
Yep.
Oh yeah, like Dio, she drank half a can of the marijuana pop yesterday, and she was properly done.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, the whole serving size thing is actually a very interesting discussion because everybody sort of eats a little differently, but you also kind of have to
Yes.
wonder what the designers in the back are thinking when they're making these choices.
Yeah, there are certain cans. There were some cans that were like 2.5 milligrams per can. So those ones would be for people who either want to have like 3 or 4 drinks in a night, or for people who would not be able to handle the higher amounts. And so they could like dose themselves differently.
I
Mhm.
will say though that like with all this, I'm saying like be careful. I mean, be careful in general because like a joint will hit people differently too. Like smoking it, like other ways of ingesting weed are less reliable, I think, content wise in some ways. But I think it's due to the certain almost like desire of for like things like chocolate, for example, that's where the danger really is. It's not just the idea of that you're getting high. It's like, if you are someone who really likes chocolate and you're like, oh, and I get high sometimes, if you have a square, that might not be enough for you, sort of, from like it's like a once you pop you can't stop kind of idea.
The real pro tip is, if you buy like marijuana chocolate, also buy some good real chocolate too,
to go
so
alongside
that
it.
when you want more chocolate, you don't have more of the marijuana chocolate. You have
Hopefully,
like
yeah.
the Toblerone, or the little seashell white swirl chocolate mix things. Oh, those ones are so good.
Or just some crappy Valentine's chocolate. Or some
Especially
crappy
if
Easter
it's
chocolate.
half cost.
Now that you mention it,
Yes.
aren't Toblerones like a Christmas thing?
I think so. At least here
They're
they
an
are.
all-year thing now.
Oh, are they?
You can get them any time of the year, but like their marketing comes alive in the winter.
Oh, okay.
They
So.
actually have ones with like a flower printed on the box for Valentine's Day.
Of course they do.
Wow, magical for your love.
Yes. For
I
the
don't know, some
one
people
day of
really
the
like
year.
that. I can have Toblerone once every like 5 years and be good. Like I like Toblerone, but it's because it's got like so much stuff.
It's very rich.
I feel I was just like, yeah, I don't need it again for a while.
Yee.
Yeah.
And you don't need this podcast again for a while.
A
At
whole
least
week.
a
even.
week.
Let it settle for a week and then come back.
Don't consume all of them at the same time. You probably have other things to do.
Good night, everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night. Good morning.